get to the bottom of it, get to the bottom of it. Blast with a pass, with a blast, with a pass, with a blast, with a blast, with a blast, with a blast. Move with the frequency, moving with the frequency. Moving with the flexibility, with the frequency. You ain't me, and I ain't you. Let's get to the bottom of it, 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 get. You ain't me, and I ain't you. Let's get to the bottom of it, get to the bottom of it, get to the bottom of it, get to the bottom of it. You ain't me, and I ain't you. Let's get to the bottom of it, get to the bottom of it. Bang with the frequencies, and you can weaken these. Bang with the frequencies, make you weak in your knees. Bang with the frequencies, make you weak in your knees. Bang with the frequencies, make you weak in your knees. Bang with the frequencies, make you weak in your knees. Bang with the frequencies, awake, me, and I ain't you. Let's get to the bottom of it, get to the bottom of it. You ain't me, and I ain't you. Let's get to the bottom of it, get to the bottom of it. You ain't me, and I ain't you. Let's get to the bottom of it, get to the bottom of it. You ain't me, and I ain't you. Let's get to the bottom of it, get to the bottom of it. I'm so out of it right now. I'm on 3 hours of sleep last 2 days. I still call Bitcoin. I lost my voice. I'm back from Vegas. I just got home. You ain't me, and I ain't you. Let's get to the bottom of it, get to the bottom of it. You ain't me, and I ain't you. Let's get to the bottom of it, get to the bottom of it. Woo. Shout out everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. You can see my voice is gone. Gone. And I got my shirt in Reno. You know, I got this shirt in Reno. I had to wear my Texas shirt. You know what I mean? Representing that Nevada, baby. Shout out to all my Nevadians in the house. Shout out to Sin City Crypto. Love y'all. Love y'all. Look like you bought Vegas home, baby. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here. Wow, my voice is shot. Like it's gone. I'm going to take some honey, maybe. You know, I remember I was like sick when I left to go to Vegas. Not sick, but a little like, you know, and then I felt better once I got there, I felt better, but I was just like recovering the whole time. And I wasn't sick. I just had like a sinus. I thought it was more like seasonal. All right. What happened to the music? Why would the music stop? That wouldn't make any sense, you know? Okay, let's break down Bitcoin. Oh my gosh. Sorry, everyone. Apologize. It's tough out here, though. I will tell you, who wants to hear the story? Who wants to hear the story of Vegas first? My entire Vegas trip. Like, I'm home. I'm literally back in the house. It was Wednesday night to Saturday morning. Unbelievable. We could also got a full moon coming. And if you've watched my video, Bitcoin and the full moon, it's pretty crazy what happens in the full moon for Bitcoin. Wrong profession, man. You're funny, man. Let's hear it. Sam's a legend. Shout out to Sean Emery, man. I love you, man. Shout out to everybody here. Story time in Vegas. The wife now deals with the hype Vegas version of Sammy. My man caught a Colombian gold. Man, that secondhand smoke in the casino. That's what it is. I'll tell you what he just said. Because you're up there all night, and I never realized it. And honestly, it got to my throat, man. It got to my throat. He's spot on. So, hold up. Babe, can you bring me that money? Babe, can you just bring me the cash? Go back up my story. I have to but anyway, so. And you can attest, I'm good at craps. Like, I won craps in Puerto Rico. I made $400 for the rent-a-car, remember? Like, I've been making money on craps. Yeah. Crabs? Why are you doing that? Oh my God, babe. She's like, doesn't know anything about casinos or gambling. My wife used to call football soccer and stuff. She's like, did they score a bat? I was like, babe, this is baseball, football. She's like, what's a touchdown? We be watching hockey. She's like, is that a touchdown? I was like, that's a hat trick, babe. She's a sweetie though. So, okay, the Vegas trip. get to the bottom of it. First, I'll do the Bitcoin update because like you come here for Bitcoin. Let's break it down. Shout out to everybody. I'm done. I'm cooked. It's crazy. I'm cooked. It's nuts, man. Vegas took everything out of me. Lifer, let's go. Shout out to Chris Ray in the house, man. God bless you and yours, man. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Can I get the likes up to the watchers? Can I get the likes up to the watchers? Thank you so much for being here. I really just don't have it. It's so funny. It's so funny. So look, Bitcoin was in a head and shoulders. I gave the signal to my trading group. I was on the plane when I did this. I was 32,000 feet in the air, flying home on the 11:29 a.m. flight. You have 11:29 a.m. flight, number one. So I gotta get up. This is all right. We gotta tell the story, right? We gotta tell the story, and we're gonna tell it visually through pictures. I wonder if, Sin City Crypto's out there watching right now. Shout out to them if they are. Anyone out there, we see you. We love you. You guys are part of the story, So this is kind of cool how you have to go to another YouTube channel to tell your story. I think that's fascinating. And a real life story, too. You know what I mean? Like a real life story. So anyway, let's break it down. Look, one-on-one with the lifer. There I am right there in the studio. Like, this is crazy. This is nuts. Oh, and we had, like, TA day. There was a lot. I can almost remember. Like, I can't even I believe this was the episode. And this was the episode. Oh, wow. So this episode and that episode. Wow. Like, all right. So we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to break down. A lot happened. A lot went on in the last couple of days. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Can I get the likes up to the watchers? I would greatly appreciate it. We have 234 people watching on this impromptu stream, a little later than my usual Saturday night stream. I apologize for that. 135 likes. But the reason why I went to Vegas, I'm going to talk about what happened to Vegas. I'm going to talk about who I met, what goes on, and how much, that trip to Vegas was a dedication to the crypto space. And all in general, really it was, because it was for my business, and my business is for crypto. So my whole life, pay that like tag. Shout out to Stack May Change, Bart Smurfington in the house. Shout out to Gina Bombina and everybody here on the live stream. CNC Ireland as well. Shout out to every single buddy here. Shout out to Love Learning. Your voice is one thing you just can't, mind over matter. I keep thinking like I can force it. Like I can just force it. I can just be like, shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. And it's just like I have lost the base, Anyway, I have a lot to talk about. I have things to show you right here. I have a heart. I have just a heart right here. Do you believe I have a heart right here? Like, no, I really do. You don't even know what's going on. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, though. It's just been a dream, too. And my whole family was there. You guys, witnessed what went on in Vegas. To me, it was just, whole thing was a dream. Whole thing was a dream. Just like this song. Oh, hey. I don't know what she says, but it's so cool. Oh, no. Dun, 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 dun. This thing is hot. Anyway. Oh, no. So I get to Vegas. I fly out at 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. No, 5:30 Wednesday afternoon was my flight. So you get to Vegas. Actually, it was a 4-hour flight with the trade winds. They were like, we're going to get you there 45 minutes faster. The second I got on the flight, they're like, guess what, everybody? Great news. We're going to get you to Vegas 45 minutes faster. I was like, yeah! It was awesome. Like, that's how it started, literally. And they did get us there in 4 hours and 10 minutes. It was one of the fastest flights cross country I ever took in my life. It was unheard of. It really was. It was record setting. Insane. He's like, we have this trade winds and the way we're going. He's like, we might even get an hour off this. It was crazy. People were hyped. It was loud. It was, No, anyways. So my wife had to go get my daughter, whatever, do her thing. I was home alone, getting everything ready. I called the Uber, right, to do my last update for the group, which is hard for me too, because I'm all right, on my way. I got, and luckily I'm on Wi-Fi, on their Wi-Fi, and I'm giving calls 32,000 feet in the air that I hit the next day, which is insane. So I'm flying, doing my thing, and here's my life for charts and updates. So if you paid $3 a day, $99 to join my trading group, you would see that there's just no other dedication as such, right? But I'm trying to say, so I left on, today is the 8th. It's just a blur. It's a whole blur. And we have a lot to talk about too, man. And so the 5th. So I left on the 5th. So I'm trying to see my posts where in the afternoon. And the thing about Vegas is you get there 11 your time Eastern, but you really get there at 5 o'clock Vegas time. It's quite interesting, right? So it's like it's a 3-hour flight. And the fact that the flight was faster, it was like a 2-hour flight to Vegas. Can you believe that? So I left at 5:30 and I was in Vegas by 7:30. It was insane. Like if you do the math, like this is a true story. Like plane took off 5:29. I pulled in to McCarran, Harry Reid, whatever they call it, but I like to still call it McCarran. I love McCarran because it's always been McCarran to me. McCarran International Airport at 7:29 p.m. All right. Immediately got off, did my thing, hung out with a friend. Right when I got out, hung out with a friend, chilled, relaxed, had a nice time. Got back to my hotel, did some updates, passed out. Why? Because I had to be up at 5 in the morning. This is the whole thing. I had to be up at 5 in the morning because the live stream I realized was 7 a.m. Something I had thought about, but you don't think about it until you're like, oh wow, like. And so I didn't stay out all night and do anything. I knew my first night in, I had to just do the right thing, and that's what I did. And I woke up at 5, got the stream ready, updated the group. Morning felt amazing. Felt amazing. Things were just absolutely rocking and rolling. We were banging on them. Everything was absolutely blasting. Things were going great. And next thing you know, the Wi-Fi is starting to just putt around, you know? And I'm like, and I can feel it. And we get our stream in, right? I haven't even checked it. I'm going to check it now. This is kind of part of the story, right? So we got the stream in for that day, but we really didn't get like a full-blown stream, you know? I mean, I didn't break the streak, but I didn't get, and I'll be honest, like I'll talk it out with the therapy right now, but it pained me. It pained me. It pained me, right? Yeah, right here. So here's me in there. Oh, so an 8-minute stream though.
In sunny Las Vegas.
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
Today, absolutely beautiful. Stunning day out there. Shout out to everybody.
It just couldn't stay solid.
I appreciate each and every one of you for being here.
Oh, so I got an 8-minute stream.
People that come to my live stream. So
I didn't realize that.
A lot of people just kind of keep.
Look, I'm already trying to. Oh, that's interesting. I'm already showing you that dump that happened. That dump eventually would happen. You see what I'm saying? Later on, even in a bigger way.
Visual range volume profile.
Oh, so I did got a stream, man. That's an 8-minute stream. That's good. Yo, hey, that's got 3,700 views. You know, in my mind, it got a stream in. So hey, you know what? I'm calling that a win. But I felt like I didn't in a way, and it felt strange to me. It felt like an open hit. Luckily, through Twitter, I was connected to these beautiful people at Sin City Crypto, and they have an amazing studio. And next thing you know, he's like, yeah, and he even let me live stream from his studio. So like, then they had a stream, and I'm pretty sure it's like this one, or could it be this? Yeah, and then they had me on the stream, and we had a blast, man. And people were giving super chats. I saw a lot of the lifers in there. And this dude's really nice, too. Let's break this guy down. Let's break him down. You watch him on YouTube. You have no idea, really. I watch them like everyone, like, you trying to make it, your imagination makes up from all the people you've met, like, what you know, what you think, you know? And I was just thought, he just, like, seemed like a really cool, laid-back guy. Like, I liked his whole, just like, yo, man. I used to skateboard. He kind of reminded me of, like, when I was a skateboarder kid. He actually really young. I thought he was 25, 26 years old. He's 30, you know, I found out he was around my age, you know, which is really cool. And he had a lot of life experience. He would end up taking me back to his home, and we would hang out. I met his wife. Like, no, true story. These are true stories. Oh, yeah, so let's just break down the thing. So I go to his studio. So that happens. It's 6, 7 in the morning. By 7:30 in the morning, right? Because you have to remember, for you guys, it was your regular 10 in the AM in Eastern time. But for me, now I've been up. So now I'm like, I've had a good night's sleep. I've slept from like 12 to 5. Right? But I'm up at 5 a.m. in Vegas, like ready to go for my stream. And you guys saw some of it. And so then I'm like, well, I'm out of this hotel. So I book another hotel, the Luxor from where I was staying, which I shouldn't have stayed there. I didn't know the Vegas Strip too much. Now I get it. I'll stay at the Bellagio. I will stay at the Bellagio, Caesar Palace or something. I like the Bellagio personally, or maybe even the Wynn. Like I like the area of the Bellagio and the Caesar Palace. That's like the area I'd like to kind of just, you know, there's pools there. There's all the things. There's the buffets. It's just, and we'll talk about the buffet. We're going to get through it all. So anyway, so moving forward, so this guy reaches out to me through Twitter, and he's like, yo, man, our studio is your studio. We love you. Like, and I was like, what? Like, so we're cool. Next thing you know, he's like, yo, he's like, man, you'll be a walking distance from our studio. It's right near the Luxor. I'm like, wow. Now I'm going to the hotel that's right near where he is. Because, you know, I could have picked one that wasn't, and it just felt so right. Oh, that water tastes so good. And my voice coming back, right, with the water. See that? More water I drink, the better it's getting. There we go. I can almost go back to the water. It's the hydrogen. Lack of hydrogen can bring you back. Shout out to the 699 and super chats. Appreciate you guys for coming on in. And I never told you to turn off the music. What's up with the music not hanging out? That's cool with me. So check it out. So anyway, I go to the studio. I kick it with him. I meet him right off the bat. I'm trying to think, how do I first meet him? Oh, yeah. I find the studio, and he opens the front door, lets me in. I'm like, what up, what up? And it just felt like, you know, like immediately, because he was doing something nice for me, and I was excited to be. It was an experience, right? It was an adventure. Like, it wasn't just a regular, you're going to go to the casinos. Like, everyone just goes to the casinos or, you know, maybe does some sightseeing. Like, I'm like, I knew I was like getting in with the, and he's like, I've been in Vegas 17 years. I'm going to show you around. And I was like, man, you can save time when you're with someone that knows the city. So he hooks me up. He's like, let's go. And, you know, I go to the studio, and I don't live stream, but we get ready for his live stream. We do our live stream, his live stream really awesomely. I set my live stream up for the next day, and like, he's like, you can leave your equipment here, and like, just kind of lets me know that the next day my stream. So like, it took so much like worry from me, you know, because then I knew it's like, okay. And then I played craps for like 2 hours. Like, he took me to a tapas bar. All right, beautiful food. He brought me back to his home, showed me like kind of all the cool things he did. And he's really smart dude. Like, he could cut tiles. Like his backyard he designed. He did his wallpapers, Italian wallpaper. He just had high class. Like, the way he designed things I thought was amazing. And I was just honored, you know, they take me back to his home, right? Like, and it's cool when you're a YouTuber, because people just know you. They're like, all right, well, that guy's a known person. Like, he can't be that strange to bring home to my house, you know? And like, you know, it's kind of cool. Like, people know who you are already. It's like out there. Who you are is already kind of known, and people are like, yo, come on. And anyway, I still thought it was very cool. And then the story doesn't end here. So there's a YouTuber, someone in our group, Tommy. I don't know if I'll leave his last name out just for his own, like, you know, his own identity. But Tommy P, we'll call him Tommy P. And he took a one-on-one with me, which is $300 an hour. And he took one like 2 weeks ago. And he also has taken the beginner's course, and I see him striving and grinding. And when I took the one-on-one, like, we really connected. I saw we filled in some blanks in his technical analysis and just his mental process. And he's like, man, I'm 20, I believe he was like 23 years old. He's like, yo, I look up to you as a mentor. And I forget I'm 39 years old. I'm an older man. Like, when I was sitting and watching YouTube, 23 years old, which just seems like yesterday, I was watching guys like Jordan Belfort when he was about 39, 40. Now he's even older. Now it's been 20 years. He's in his 60s now. But these are the same people I was watching when I was some of your ages. You might be watching me now. You might be in your 20s. So I'm like, wow, I'm like that old dude now that people listen to because they're young, because I've done all the stuff. I did all this silly stuff when I was young, and I have some wisdom now. I have a ability to maybe probably steer you in the right direction, you know? So point of the story is, the kid brings me to his house. That made me feel really honored. Meeting his wife, she made this beautiful tea, which was like, help me go to sleep at night. And so Tommy comes, and he's nice enough to let Tommy come to his house, because, you know, even I might be like, I don't know, dude. Like, so I've never met Tommy in my life. He drives 2 hours from Utah to meet me. And he's like, yo, you're my role model, man. I'm coming to see you. Like, and I was like, please come to see me. Like, that's amazing. I was like, that's amazing. And I stayed in contact with him for 2 days. And I gave him the address when I was there. And that was really cool that he was like, because he could have like, I don't know. And then I could have Tommy would have had to wait in Vegas, and I might have looked rude. And then I would have got back. And he just played it cool, man. He played it cool. He let the situation fly. And Tommy shows up, comes to the house. This dude lets him in his home. And we go to the back, and we hang out in his beautiful patio, and he shows us this game called Sequence, which I've never played before, with these little, and like, he just set the vibe. He made it awesome. Tommy was like a little, you know, like kind of like, you know, like starstruck again, or, you know, just in his way, just, you know, like, wow, like he's meeting, like, and I thought it was amazing. An experience for me. Someone would drive, and then he had to drive back home. He had a 4-hour drive that day, there and back, round trip, just to come see the lifer, man. And I was honored, you know, and he's like, dude, I would do that any day of the week. Like, you're my role model, man. I look up to you. Like, you have no idea. Like, and like, man, so that experience blew my mind. And like, I got to experience it with him too. And then Tommy drove me back to the city, dropped me off at my hotel. I played craps for 2 hours, right? Did some updates on my phone. I took $200 of craps, brought it up to 350, then brought it back down to like 175. Didn't like the table. The rolls didn't go well. I just took the 175 and went back to my room and said maybe I'll play one day or not or whatever, you know. Next morning, woke up, had to meet him back at his studio at 6 a.m. again because he was like, yo, I'll let you do your live stream. Bang, we're back at his studio at 6:30 in the morning, right? I do my live stream, bangs out. You guys do amazing. 140 in super chats. We had like 700 concurrent viewers. It was an amazing stream. It felt great. The energy was like unreal. We were vibing, and he then it was unbelievable, right? And then he's like, and you want to be on the show again? And I'm like, again? He's like, yeah, and we're gonna have Forrest on like the day. So today when he has like an awesome YouTuber that's known, I believe, you know, I've known Forrest, watching him for a while. I felt honored. I was humbled, and I mean, to me, it was like an amazing experience. And like, I honestly don't care how many subscribers you have. And like, honestly, 3,000 to me is substantial because if you can get 3, you can get 6. If you get 6, you can get 12. Really, it's the first 1,000. For me, if you can get the first 1,000, you're already at 100,000. You know what I mean? So they're already there. And then when I saw their studio and the amount of time and effort they put into what they did, I knew I was around people that hustle as much as I hustle, and it felt good. It just felt good to be. I love being around hustlers. It just makes that's where I fit. That's where it feels right. You know, like this, it's just like they're getting theirs. They're going to get it. And they enhanced me. I enhanced them. I thought it was an amazing experience. So Robin, man, I became friends with this dude. Like, he's my friend now. You know, I got him on my phone. So it's not ending. So then the next, and then I go to bed and then that day goes on. I meet my accountant, chill with my accountant. He's a great guy. He invites me to go boating on Lake Mead if I want to. But I'm like, I don't even know. It's too many things to do. He's like, yo, you come. We got the jet skis out. He's like, you can stay on my boathouse for the night. And then the next morning, he's like, you can take a cab back out there. He's like, give me a $40, $50 cab ride, but you'll be fine. Like, I was like, man, do I go out to Lake Mead and just hang out? I almost did it. I really did. But there was a Cardano party that night, a Cardano NFT party at the Westgate Hotel and Casino. And so that was the plan, was to go see that and hang out and see that. So... And Rob again was like, yo, and he was super nice. He was like, yo, I'll come pick you up at your hotel again. Let me know. And he did. And he brought me to the party, and I met DZ. And that's where we can go to the Twitter feed, right? And then it was so cool because I met DZ so many times. Like, we sit there behind the scenes. We've made the show, you know, we make ATP together so many different times on those Thursdays and Wednesdays that I've been on. And there we are right there too on Twitter. We're streaming on all platforms at all times. And this is them too. And this guy, man, this guy blew my mind. Let me talk about this guy who has like 5 children who each have, and then like he has 3 grandchildren. I believe he was right. He had 9, you know, in his legacy. And man, me and him really vibed and talked. And like, it'd been a while since I really got to know he was just a really nice guy, man. Sheldon, man. Shout out to this guy. Shout out to Dave. Dave broke down his life a little bit. You know, Dave's dad had passed away recently, and like, he's, you know, not really 5 years ago, but still, I mean, I'm always wondering, like, when my parents, so me and Dave connected. This dude held me down. It was an epic time, man. Like, and there's me meeting DZ, right? And it was just, man, good. And then the Sin City Crypto in the background. And it was just good times all around, you know. I went to the Bellagio and this is Caesar's Palace, and like, just showing you just the extravagance in these hotels. And it just, man, and Twitter actually I got a bunch more videos I'll be posting soon, but just showing people I was gonna go to the why are you asking me? What? Why would you waste my time asking me what I was doing at the Bellagio? Are you serious? How dare you? Come down here right now. I want to put water on you. She's so mean. Like, what are you doing at the Bellagio? What are you doing not at the Bellagio? The Bellagio. Now you're calling me now you have me calling it the Bellagio. It's the Bellagio. Anyway, you want to see a Saturday night rally? Oh man, SHIB is trending here. SHIB is trending. It's interesting. We're gonna take a look at the charts and the markets in a second, because you know that's why I'm here. I'm hot and heavy right now on the 15-minute chart. So I'm gonna break it down. I showed you a head and shoulder pattern. Oh, let me just finish the story though. It's not though. It was such a story. So then, yeah, I went back to my hotel, chilled for a little while, relaxed, right? After chilling with them. Oh yeah, then I walked the strip alone. That's what I just did. And what's creepy was I walked the strip alone, the same places, and I didn't know about the stabbing at this point. And this is what I have to get into too. All right. And this is why it's just like weird to me. But there was a deadly stabbing while I was in Las Vegas. And right now I have to do a moment of silence like I always do. And even a prayer because, dear Lord, may we pray for the people that were stabbed. 2 people died. One was a beautiful girl. Another was a man in the back. Bad so bad they just bled to death. Like, this man here, 2 Las Vegas killed in the strip, stabbings. Like, and I was there. Like, I was in Vegas. And it happened. It just, you know, it hit me to the core for some reason. Because you read this stuff, but you're like, oh, but like, I was there. Like, and I was only there for 2 days. And the thing was, I walked the strip the next day and didn't know about this. And I walked like right by where all this happened, you know, like it's funny, like everyone, you know, like Vegas, when you're in Vegas, it's such a bubble, right? And everyone is in such like whatever mode, like doing whatever they want, right? Everyone is just like extremely whatever they are. Like if they're doing something, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, they're doing it to the extreme, right? And they're not into the news and they're not trying to figure out like what, they don't care, right? And you can see here, like, I mean, this is just like, these are the sky bridge I walked across. Like it's just shattering to me. So moment of silence for the people that lost their life. The girl too, specifically, like beautiful young girl, had her whole life ahead of her. And some random dude would just, yeah. Like I went down those escalators the next day. I am like just in a complete state of shock. You know, like people walk, people walking, man. I mean, it's blocked, like parts are blocked off. It's like a scene, but it's a moment of silence. So that was earth shattering to me. That was shattering. That was shattering. Absolutely shattering for me. Because, you know, it made me realize like I could have, I mean, and again, thank God, but like what if I was just standing there? What if he did it near the Bellagio while people were just watching? What if I was just sitting there watching the fountain like you guys saw me and just like blah, blah. Like I just like, and it made me realize I think I'm invincible. I think I could get out of anything. I think I could just, no one will get me. I'm Sam Price. I'm invincible. Like you can't ever. And man, like I would just be looking the other way, like doing my thing and just blah. Like the way he did it, the people he got, like he just chose who he got. Like, and if he chose you, it was it. Like he made sure you didn't really see him coming. And oh my, it just, man, it's vicious out here. And it's I'm sorry, I'm a little speechless over it. So I didn't want to bring it up, but I had to bring it up because it did something to me mentally of like time and place, you know, and like I could have went to Vegas at any time. And again, it is just like a weird coincidence in my life. And it's like, and it is just, you know, so much crazy stuff happens. And I went to a big city. Like it is what it is. I get it. But, you know, I'm not trying to put so much on it. Like, oh, it's, you know, it's a coincidence. It's not like one of the huge things, but it made me focus more on how fragile life is, because I may have walked by that girl the day before that was, you know, she was working the strip. I probably did. I think I did, which is kind of crazy. I saw the picture of her and I was like, I think I recognized her. Like, so, some people like took a picture with her, like the other people, and they gave her like a tip, you know, she was walking the strip doing tips. So, man, 2 Las Vegans killed in the strip stabbings. I just, and 6 other people injured, like insanity, absolute insanity. I'm over it now. Let's get back into the technical analysis. But, anyway, so we got to finish the story. I'm really out of it too. You have to remember, let's finish. So I'm on, every night I'm on like 5 hours of sleep. And the first night, actually, I didn't finish my story. The first night I get to my hotel in the Luxor, and to get to my room, I have to walk so far. And I get back to my hotel like 11:30, 12. You have to play in the craps like 12:30. I play like an hour of craps, 1 hour. I know I have to go to sleep early, so I play craps from 11 to 12. And then I'm like, Sam, you got to go. And I don't drink. And this is why I don't drink. I was drinking water the whole time. Had I had even a couple beers, I would have played extra. I would not have been able to get up. There's no way I would have done and managed to nail the things I nailed. I'm telling you right now, alcohol would not have allowed me to get the things done that I needed to get done the last 2 or 3 days. Impossible for me to have kept up at the rate I was at had I put any amount of alcohol in my body. I went to Vegas. I did not drink a sip, not even a tiny sip of free, whatever they gave you. I don't care what it was. I didn't take a sip of booze. All right. I had one soda. All right. Just like, and I drank water the whole time. And I shouldn't have had any soda at all. But it's like my guilty pleasure, which I shouldn't even have had one. I agree. If anyone looks down on me, and I admit it. All right. So, point of the story. That night, I wanted to switch my hotel room because it was like so creepily far away. So I called the front desk and said, I really need something closer to the elevator. This is out of control, like in a different part, please. And they were really nice and they did it, but I still had to wait in a VIP line. And by the time everything ended, it was 1:45. And by the time I really got settled, I had to take a shower and like get myself like kind of mellow it out. It was like 3 a.m. And I did put out Bitcoin updates and I was looking at Bitcoin. And then I had to be at his studio at like 6 in the morning again. So, and then we did the second day where Forest and all that. And so it was just, and then the last day, so then let me bring you back. So now we're at the party. I meet DZ and everybody. And then I go back to my hotel, the Luxor, right? And it's like, what it must have been like, and this is the one night I know I can just like go out a little later, right? And I told my whole group for once, I was like, I'm going to take the night off, like for at least, or even the afternoon. I didn't take the day off, but someone's like, you didn't even take the day off. You took like a half a day. But I just want everyone to know, like, I'm just going to be like chilling. Like, and so I did, and then I played craps. And I played craps very systematically. I was drinking my water and I'll tell you how I played craps. I started with $175. I got down to $75 and I was betting on a $20 minimum table. And I was just betting $20 in the pass line. I used to put odds and I was not putting odds this time. I don't know why, but why I wanted to chip away. And so I would pass line and then I would bet and I'd put odds on the 8. I'd put $20 on the 8. I did this and then I would eventually, I did this and there was a woman next to me, a Jewish kid next to me with this bigger hat and this like old bigger Irish guy with like a dip in his mouth with a backwards Notre Dame hat, just like looking just like a guy right out of Boston, and he got the dice and I was like, man, he gonna throw dice nice. He's just this old Irish dude. And he got the dice sitting sideways and he started throwing the dice and he went on like a 15-minute run. And he started betting the 10, pressing the 10. He was using the 6 and the 8. I was using the 6 and the 8, but he started pressing the 10 and he started hitting the 10 a lot. And the 10 gives you better odds, You're getting like, you put 30 on the 10, you're getting like $50 back, So I started throwing money. I started throwing like $30, $40 on the 10. And I'd be on the 8, the 10, 8 of the 10. And then after I hit 2 or 3 times, I take action off. Usually I didn't, but I would take action off. I'd be like, let me get my action back. And then boom, 7 crap or whatever. And then I did $5 on the yo, hit the yo a few times. I tipped the dealers, $2 to the dealers, $1 yo for the dealers. $5 yo for the dealers, $2 to the dealers. It feels good to give, baby. It feels good to give. And I kept saying that. That's why I have no voice right now. I was like, it feels good to give, baby. It feels good to give. And then I went on a run. And no lie, I went on a 45-minute dice roll. It was 45 minutes. We just 8 again. Like, and then we hit the point, 4 hits. Oh, yo, we cleaned up. This lady next to me, this dude, us 3 specifically, stayed at the table together for like 4 hours till 3 in the morning and just kept chewing the table alive, yo. And I turned the $700 into like 1,100 bones. It was funny. And like, I make enough money trading, and to me, $1,000 is like whatever. But like, it's just the fact that like we chew, I made $300 an hour playing craps though. You know what I mean? And I did it very consistently, just like I trade. And I'm not saying gamble. Don't go gamble. I really am not saying trading and gambling to me are. And I hadn't traded in 2 years since then. I hadn't gambled in 2 years since then. I hadn't gambled in 2 years. I went to Vegas 2 years ago, and that's the last time I had gambled. 2019, 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Coming up on 3 years ago. But bam, man. And it's fine. I haven't seen cash in so long, right? And that's kind of how the trip ended. And then I got back to my room. I did a Bitcoin update at like 3 in the morning. I had to wake up at 6. I got to the airport at like 8:39. I got a massage in the airport. They massage you. I was going to take a video of it for y'all, but like, I was like, whatever. Like, I made a G, right? So I got a $150 massage. They massaged my feet and my back. I'm sitting there in the airport an hour before my flight, just getting my back done,
getting my feet rubbed. Yo, it was classic, man. I felt like a G. I'm sitting there like in the massage chair. This lady's massaging my toes. I felt like a king, man. It was crazy. And then like when the massage was done, like boarding time came on. I was never given a seat, and I was like, man, they gave me F window in an emergency line. And the people ended up, at the end, I started talking to people, they ended up knowing like 2 people. They were from like a town of like one of my friends are from, and they knew 2 people I knew. You know, it was like, of course, right? And then I'm here. And then I got home and we're live streaming. So like, that's my life. You guys saw the whole thing basically, as much as I could give you. Twitter did get bogged down for a while, or else you guys would have saw so much more. But Twitter was acting up for me. My phone, my 5G, my new phone on my 5G does not act good. And it tends to act up, all right? And we hit gains on top of that. And we're going to talk about the gains I hit while I was in Vegas. Trading, you know, I'm not talking about, you know what I mean? Like, we could get into that, but it's you know. So, Bitcoin does these things where it breaks down from a falling wedge, but it breaks back in the falling wedge. And at the end of the day, that's a flagpole and that's a measured move. 15-minute is oversold, and you're asking for a move with, you know, because you have lack of bearish momentum here. There's really no, I don't see any bearishness. You do have the falling volume with falling price too, which is telling you should be getting a move. This could be considered a bit of a double bottom with a tester in the middle, I guess, you know, just kind of that move. Is there divergence there that we can really sink our teeth into? Let's take a look at the 7. Do we have anything that is somewhat substantial hidden or anything? No, but 7 is even showing signs of a reversal to the upside as we speak. We'll get into Bookmap again as well, and we'll break that down for you, all right, and show you what's happening. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. And let's jump into the chat too. You definitely should have had the chat going this whole time. So sorry, I like forgot about the chat. That's how Sam is a legend. Shout out to, you know, you're a legend, Sean. Thank you for showing up. I know this ain't much. Shout out to Nate LA for the one. Yo, that is much. Are you kidding me? 199. It all starts with a little, man. You know, a beach starts with a grain of sand, baby. You know, everything is much, bro. Everything is abundance. We live in abundance. 199 is 1099. You know, 1 subscriber is 10 subscribers. 10 is 100. You can get there if you can get here. You can get here if you can get there. Amen. Shout out to each and every one of you if you're picking up what I'm putting down. I love you all, and you know I do. And I'm never going to stop being your crypto, you know, go-to every single day. I'm going to find the hottest coins, the hottest metaverse, Web 3.0. I taught you what WASM is. You probably don't even know. If you didn't write it down right now, WebAssembly, looking for that keyword. WASM will make you a lot of money if you know how to use it and you understand what the process of which it's taking place, and you can find out why a certain project may or may not take advantage of WASM more than another one. And if you can get that answer to yourself, that, again, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I should be taking a financial advice, but I already have that answer, and I know that answer is going to make me a pretty penny. So you do whatever makes you happy, and it's a simple thing. Sometimes it's a simple thing to focus on, and then you maximize that potential of that idea. If you don't know what I'm talking about with WASM, it's WebAssembly. Google it, WASM. Get deep into some WASM. I remember I told my friends you're gonna hear the word DeFi before it was deep in June, and I was like, because little DeFi started popping out, and we knew it was the new keyword. And then I was like, you're gonna hear metaverse, and now it's gonna be WASM. Web 3.0, but WASM. Trust me, no one's heard WASM yet publicly. The nerds talking about WASM, and if you read white papers, you're going to see it's predominantly coming out. But that's where it lives, and this is why you come to this channel, not just for TA, but for this deep insight that you just can't get anywhere else. It's true. Facts. These are facts. Because when I hear myself say it, I'm like, yo, that's some deep knowledge that I know I can make a nice killing on, but I don't like to say that word. And my wife make a good chunk on. But shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. No clue. Glad to hear about your good time in LA. TA isn't going anywhere, folks. Shout out to my man. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate you. So we're looking at Bitcoin. And this morning, if you were watching my Bitcoin update, I was nice enough to see, you know, my brain. Let's all thank my brain. I'll thank my brain too. My strange pattern recognition mind. And I probably wasn't the only person that saw it, but I began to see it pretty fast. Even this is a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. And it's a lot like this one. It's got that flat. And I've been seeing this pattern a lot. And it isn't inverted. That's a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder area. And that could break down the base of the this, you know, wick to that neckline. And you also take that as your, you know, measured move out of a pole. You don't have, you know, either way you could look at it. You know where the support and resistance lies. And you take away our moving averages. Like if we look at them now, see something here. You can see right now, like they are slowly conjoining. You can see that the 50 may curve up right here and eventually cross through. 7 minute isn't a big deal. Point of control right there is what we want to talk about, and it's sitting right there at 19,500. All right, that's gonna be your next big reach into cross. You get above that, you are gonna rip to the big area of open space here where they lacks liquidity. It's gonna get to as far a place it can, like a train running on the tracks of liquidity. Once it runs out of liquidity, it cannot continue. Okay, understand these concepts. These will change your life. Now, remember what we're looking at for Bitcoin. Does anyone remember the basics? We're looking at the 4-hour time frame. We're looking at the 5 moving averages, 5 MA DRS. If you put that in, you'll be able to put this indicator in, right? Go up there, yeah. And what we are looking for is the 4-hour time frame to be well above the 200 simple. And once it lost it, look, it lost it overnight like there, and that was the dumpage. Massive dumpage to the downside for Bitcoin. And if you were watching my channel, we were on the 7 minute, and we were showing you that the 7 minute was likely to break to the downside here and give you a massive dump down. And look what happened. I mean, it went pretty much, you know, right to that. That was my yellow line was the target. 19,000, what, 172, no, 372. We went to 19,000, like 330. You're off like $20 on that Bitcoin call. And if you watch my live stream, I made this call when it was here. You know, I started drawing this pennant here, and I was like, man, and that's a bear pennant that breaks down 68% of the time to the measured move. So I knew there was a 70% chance that I would be accurate in making the statement that Bitcoin would take a nice little dump down. Pretty simple stuff to me, right? If you keep it simple, it begins to make sense. If you make it too complex, then you lose your way. You got to have like a stacking system where you only add what you know as you go, okay? And it seems like I'm rhyming and chiming over here, and that's because I am. All right. Shoulder, head, and shoulder. I don't know where it comes up from, but it does, right? Like a turtle head, man. So this bounced here, bounced back up, got rejected, fell back down. And you can see now there's like heavy resistance right here too. I can't stand it. I can't stand it when I do it. I can't do it no more. I just can't do it anymore. That's another concept there. And let me get this music back and pumping. Why are they playing me? This all should have been done on Binance. Yeah, this is it. So the other idea, remember, this is this bigger pattern. Up, down, up. Are we heading back down to the bottom of the pattern at 18,166? A lot, you know, because it's going to take a lot of money to short Bitcoin back into the 15, 16,000. For that to bottom to break, it takes a lot of money. Just like for it to pop, it takes a lot of money. People don't realize, like, you got to get realistic, you know, and that's like what kind of keeps me grounded when it comes to Bitcoin and the fantasy that people think that it's like, you know, not going to be around in 10 years. So look, this is a falling wedge that breaks up 68% of the time. You got the same idea here, but this is what we're looking for. We want to see price action break back inside this pattern. If it can, and even can hang out here. It can even just hang a little bit in there, and then boom, and then it can get to the measured move of that pattern. Once a pattern is assumed, the probability of that pattern can be held, even if you've left that pattern. It all matters if you get back in, and you might get back in for a second. You got to get back in and then like hold a couple hours. All right, but right now we did break the 200 simple moving average, which is going to be my yellow line on 5MA DRS. If you go up here to 5MA DRS, Deepak, you know, that's going to give you 5 moving averages: the 21, the 50, the 80, the 100, and the 200A. And how they interlock and get pulled apart gives me key insight into the markets. They're not indicators that I use like whenever I want, you know, to buy or sell. They're just add-ons if I want to buy or sell, but they give me a really good general idea of where the market's going to go. They give me, they're basically my predictors, my overall predictors on larger time frames where things are probably going to set off. See, I look at that first, and once those checklists come off, then I start getting into my 4 hour, my 1 hour, my 15, and like, but I'm always kind of building first. I'm always building first. Just remember that. I'm always building first. All right. If that makes any sense to you. So, can we get a move to the upside? There's a chance, 38% chance. If we don't, I mean, it's also like a higher low double bottom here. There's divergence here, which is interesting. All right, you got swing down and swing down, and this swings up here. So you got some bullish divergence right there. See, that is bullish divergence, and we did bounce off it so far, which is a good sign. And the RSI usually crawls its way back up on the 1 hour time frame, but you're rolling over. Stochastics are funny, like they can roll back up or down. This is a crucial area, and that's why it's all about us. Can we get back inside the pattern? Somebody watching that, if that shorts again, look, you're looking at this, it's not bad even. You're looking at a really nice short pattern. To me, it seems like you'd be building this really nice idea of like an M pattern, unable to get above this region. Look at that smiley face I just made. Then we could put like little cheeks, little dots, and like some whiskers. What do you think? And then we can give her some eyes, little ears. And we got ourselves like a little weird little animal here. I don't even know what it is. That's trippy. Yes, I went to Vegas. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Lifer Friend. All right, now what I'm also going to do, what I like to do is I like to go to another chart that I haven't been like, super keen on or I haven't drawn on. And I like to see, what's going on. So this has a 68% chance of break to the upside, but you can clearly see there's going to be resistance right here when it tries to get back inside the pattern at about 19,440, and then 19,500 really needs to break back up for us to remain bullish. If we can't get above this POC, I'd say in the next 24 to 36 hours, like I'd say even less, in 16 to 24 hours. Like if you can't get a 4 hours candle to close or a daily candle to close, we're likely headed to the downside. All right. Shout out to everybody here. I looked away for a few seconds and came back to art, man. You're so funny, man. How's everyone doing, man? You're getting like Jordan. See, tell me more how I'm like Michael Jordan. Please, I never gets old hearing that. Oh man, I just I'm traveling the world at my own whim, and I'm doing whatever I want when I want, and people are responding all around the world, and it's awesome, man. I'm like, I love it. I love what I do. I love the family that I created with my wife. I love the family that I created here. She's in both families, and I'm just blessed. I feel blessed. Even Rob taking me out, tapas, Rob bringing me to his house, I feel blessed. Everything just went the way anyone would have wanted their vacation or a little time off. And it wasn't even time off, whatever it was for me. I ended up working a lot because, when I did their live stream, it was another 2 hours. And as I told you, I was exhausted. Like I would have loved to napped, but at the same time, like to be on camera with people to me is a dream come true. So the adrenaline just kicked back in. And then I was worried, like, is my TA going to be on point? Like, am I going to be ready? And it disciplines me because I have to be focused and I have to they put me on the spot in a way. And I love that. Like that challenges me. I love being put on the spot. Like, let's get it. Like every time. And then I said to my trading group, like, I figured that we could turn it into like an inspirational moment. And I was like, I can't wait for the next roadblock in my life, because every time I seem to hit like something that I think is going to hold me down, it ends up enhancing me to the next 10 to like on another level. Like this, whatever happened here, this inspired me. How could it not inspire anybody to watch that? And then I saw people write me a whole thing like, we really watched you like struggle with the internet, do your thing, and then reached out, and it was like really awesome. And it was a match made, and I got along with their whole crew and their vibe and even their friends that they liked and knew. That's hidden bullish divergence right there on Bitcoin, which I haven't pointed out because I haven't seen it. That's interesting. We must heed that. That plays out I'd say, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but for me, that plays like 90% of the time when I go hard on hidden bullish, it breaks to the upside. So that would tell me that Bitcoin is likely to break to the upside. It also hasn't broken this point of control yet, right? At 19,888, 19,180 area. So till we break that, that would be the bearish retest. And then we would fall pretty much down here to the bottom of the pattern, in my humble opinion, which would put us at about 17.7. I believe it's more likely we do break out based on how pinned the 4-hour is, but anything is possible, right? 22-hour, our go-to time frame, is beginning to reset again, and we've seen that before. But there's also chop down here, and it can bleed out, and that would even get us down there, and we could still be low for our next pump up. So just be careful. But it's just precariously getting there. And the daily, to me, and I can't guarantee it, but it's starting to flatten out a little bit, where it may not go that low, and it may actually rip up with the bigger time frame. So let's take a look at our 3-day. And did it curve bullishly yet, or is it still kind of curving? I'm going to I'm just going to double click just the RSI. I really want to see the stochastics RSI. I want to see it alone. This isn't bad, right? It didn't get a bearish cross, so you have to zoom in. Otherwise, you can't see that. Like, it looks a lot, for me, it looked a lot more bearish. So, and a lot of times I see this just, begin to flip out, and they do their thing. 3-day chart looks really nice to me on all fronts. And something else that I have to talk about that's interesting. Also, I felt like when I was with them and Forrest too, like a lot of things were in perspective for me, and it helped clear my mind for whatever reason, like being in a different environment while I was doing what I was doing. It was a fascinating experience for me. And then at the event, someone recognized me, a couple people, only 2 people, but they went up to me and said, "Oh, I seen you on around the blockchain." And I was like, "Oh," one guy was like, "I watch your channel all the time. Like, I love, like, oh man, like," and he was like, "Yeah." And then I wake up and like, I usually watch you doing here. And then I was like, man, I'm part of his life return. Like, it was like, it bugged me out. Like, it truly, like, was a very humbling experience. It was far out. The whole trip was far out. Tommy coming to meet me. Had I added the jet skis in the boat, it would have been so official. Like, the footage of that would have been just absolutely absurd. But you can't have it all. And I'm an older man now, and I got to take care of myself for the group and for my family and for everybody. So I can't just be willy-nilly in it every single time all over the place. So do we break back to the downside right here? That is a rising wedge with a 68% chance of a break to the downside. There's a highly likelihood we do. The 1 hour is still coming on down and not able to get above resistance. So if the Dixie cannot get above 112.773, of course there's the 77 yet again at the end of the night. And when I was playing craps, the woman next to me was just amazing. She was like, "Let's go." And then, like, there's no place to eat, so I go up to the food court, and I got Johnny Rockets. I got a burger from Johnny Rockets. And she's there eating a pizza, and, like, we just laughed. And, like, I talked to her for a second again, and I was like, man, we ran that table. She's like, we really did. I was like, she didn't let any negative energy. Like, anytime someone negative, she's like, we can't talk about it. She's like, let's just stay. She was, like, interesting, like, really, like, positive person. It was so funny. And the dude next to me, he just, like, the same kind of, like, just kept, like, it was weird. Like, the 3 of us formed this trifecta that couldn't be stopped. And other people would come to the other side of the table, but, like, they wouldn't bet. Like, we would always bet the numbers when we were supposed to. So when we hit them, we would win enough that if they take our bet on the 7, like, that was just plain entry. Like, we all got what we needed, And I would just see the green chips just keep coming in. Like, money just kept, like, for literally 3 hours straight, the craps table was an ATM machine. Money just kept coming in. Like, I just had to put $30 to $40 out on the table. At any given moment, I'd have anywhere between $30 and $75 working. And if you don't know how to play craps, you got to learn. I don't want to encourage anyone to gamble. I would just say, learn technical analysis. And even it becomes a hobby that who knows, right? And I've only played craps in my life maybe 30 times. But I've studied it enough, and I really like it. And each time for like 3 to 4 hours, though, right? So it is what it is. But I made, you know, I stayed at the Luxor for free. I'll tell you that because, you know, I should have gotten a card, put the G down. They comp you a card. They comp you when they see you want a G. They comp you a room, and then you get another room for free. It's crazy. That's how Vegas works. When you win, you keep winning. It's so much fun when you get a good group at a table like that. Oh my gosh, it was like the best. It's happened to me 4 or 5 times, and this time it was just, and it's just like I got lucky because I didn't even play that much craps. Like that's why I can't believe it. Like that's like it's not supposed to happen. Like I'm not supposed to have this G. I don't even need this G. You know what I mean? Like it's not supposed to happen like that, and it still did, man. And it was like, man, it was just you couldn't ask for a better trip. And I got home safe and sound, back to my family. You know, I flew home Delta. Delta's way nicer. I flew there JetBlue. I flew home Delta. Delta's way nicer. I have to give it to them. Seats are bigger, more comfortable. And just JetBlue's a little rankety in my humble opinion, if I have to be honest. And, you know, I've flown it enough, but a Delta is just a little classier, in my humble opinion. All right, let's get into. So I do see a move for Bitcoin, right? If this daily can flip up, this 3 days getting a little high, but it's not bearish yet. That's the one thing we wanted to kind of figure out. And we can leave that now. 22-hour oversold, but the daily would have to flip. We would have to hold this node here. See these nodes of support and resistance. These areas really can't break for this story to hold. So we're building a narrative, but we know what certain parts of the puzzle have to go for this narrative to play out. All right. Like right now, you're getting resistance, and you're rolling over on the 1 hour. See, right now you're making a bearish retest. Like you tried to get in there and couldn't again. Usually that's textbook bullish divergence though, and it is right there on the 1 hour time frame. Tells you that that's your bottom right there. Swing up to swing up, swing down to swing down. Textbook bullish divergence. I would long that divergence. You know, it's a really good place to long Bitcoin. It's interesting. I'm going to open up MEXC Global and open up a long on Bitcoin. I really am. You do whatever makes you happy, but I see the 4 hour pumping. I see the 15-minute creating an entry. I see bullish divergence on the 1 hour, even though it looks indecisive. And that tells me that there's a high probability play in my favor. And didn't we also see hidden bullish divergence there on the bigger time frame? Was it the 4 hour time frame? And it was confirmed. I mean, pretty much so. That's an uptrend, downtrend. That's interesting to me. The 22-hour looked pretty good. You know, the odds of this going up are very high based. You know, I'm not. It's funny. I sat here with each and every one of you, and I don't know these things are gonna happen. I don't know we're gonna find these things of confluence in the charts. You get it? Like, and when it happens, I'm like, wow. Like, I force myself to take a trade that I normally wouldn't, just because I don't have a choice if the probability is in your favor. That's how a trader has to, and eventually you should have a set of rules. You know, any trader do whatever you want, but for me, I have a set of rules, and I use those rules in accordance to how I play. Just like last night, I went into the craps table, and I didn't take odds for whatever reason, but every time I lost, I only lost the littler amount, and then I took advantage of my numbers and played my numbers, and then occasionally I would just take my numbers down. You know, without any qualms about it. So it was, you know. So you can see I'm at MEXC Global, doing my thing, wanting to trade these ETFs, an ETF. All right. It's funny. I'm really tired. I usually don't open up trades when I'm exhausted. Right? But let's see if we can grow. Look, if you look at my overview, guess what? It's got 0.6633. Of course, right? So look, I got 1,200 MEXC Global. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if I can turn this into something lovely, right? And I'm still holding some Luna 3L. You see, if Bitcoin rips, Luna 3L is going to rip. Let's talk about this concept here. Luna C. Lunacy is still, nothing has changed. It never hit. See, this trade is still open. I'm in the 3L though for MEXC Global, right? And I'm going for that 300% gainer, man. You know, I'll make 300% on this. On the 300 bucks, I'll turn it into a G on, you know, and I'm in the Luna 3L token here. See? And if Bitcoin rips, I mean, this is going to rip with Bitcoin. All right? So I just want to make that clear. All right? You do whatever makes you happy, but that's just kind of how things work in this game. And why I like MEXC Global is they have so many ETFs that you just can't get anywhere else. They represent so many, and they have a lot of new coins coming out all the time. They are nailing it. Yeah, you can't. People just get. Lived in Roxbury for 3 years. Brooklyn, New York for 5. Trust me when I say we were really lucky to have Sam Price leading us through. This guy is on top of his game. Much love from Detroit. Wow, you lived in Roxbury, man? I lived in Boston, and I lived in New York. Funny. You've been around, man. Shout out to Crypto Alibaba 99. Funny, I have 99. The Lifer's 99. And when I write 99, your name comes up all the time. So every day I see your name every day of all the people in the group because it like it picks up on it, right? So a 5X ETF, high 4X or 3X. It's up to you. It's always up to you, Z's. Also, Bitcoin doesn't have. Oh, there's a Bitcoin for LD, and you can trade it. You can trade it all the way, right? It's all in futures. That's the problem, and I don't like trading futures. What we can do is we can trade futures with no levy. I'll show you how we do it. You can trade futures. You just don't have to trade levy. So look, when you're there, you go up here. You see something. Available 831. Oh my God, I left the trade open that I opened up on the plane. I opened this trade up on the plane. Oh, I was in profits a bunch of times and I just forgot about it. It's crazy, right? It's only down $41. It's like a tiny amount. Realized P&L $1, 3 It's like a $200 trade. Yeah, so 6X, I even go down. Like, it's like you can trade 4X right there, and there's your ETF, you know? And I don't really want anyone trading any leverage. They just gave me free leverage, right? So, and I don't like trading leverage. I hate it. I can't stand it. Can't stand it. I'd much rather we're going to go back and do what I do, right? Margin 250, 325, long stop. So, and you got to look at it, right? So we got to take a look. And this is, and look at that, major dumpage, but are we getting a 5-minute beat down? Yeah, 7 minute. You buy into this red candle, it would be awesome. 30-second chart says it could dump on you. Remember that. Interesting. It's a 30-second though, but I mean, it had this. There's a strong bullish divergence though. So look, I'm gonna long that divergence on the 30-second, right? That no one else can really see unless they have, the ability to figure that out, right? So that's the point. So stop loss below previous highs, 897. Right here would be a nice one, like 18,004. Even right here, 18,900, right? So you go to your long, take profit. And you can also, so you can open the long. You click on where you want to get in, 839. Open the long. I'm using like 300 bones. Order was filled. So it just added to my, so that's the thing. It just added to my other trade though. It's weird. It's like, can't they be separate trades? It's kind of what I want. Because then I want to, now I want to edit the, stop loss. That's the problem. So right here, take profit, long, entry, 9, let's see, exit liquidated, 14,000 is the liquidation price, see? Take profit, 29,000. So here we go. Yeah, so if I get liquidated, it has to go to the 14K, you know what I mean? So, and it's a very small amount of money. Only play with where you're willing to lose completely. Like, I could lose the whole G, I'd be completely fine with it, you know? And so you watch this now, and yeah, getting out of 20,009 would be a perfect trade, really, right? Stop loss should be, we could even say 18,500, like, right? And then confirm that. What did I just do? And I always use a stop loss whenever I'm trading on MEXC Global. I would lose 64 bucks. Like, you know, when you learn how to trade, you use small amounts. Like right now, I'm longing the divergence. You see? Let's see how this plays out. But many times, a divergence like that plays to the upside of my life. I've seen it thousands of times. So if this one doesn't, oh well. Also, there's a POC here, and if we get above there, we'll at least get to this 20,094 level. Maybe I'll, you know, we'll look at it. And we got LUNC cooking. So if Bitcoin dumps, it's going to take LUNC to a dump, right? LUNC is holding above a POC though, and you can see it sticking out, likely to head back to this area because of that idea. So I got the trades I'm looking at. You can see where I'm at with them. I'm in LUNC, I'm in Bitcoin. They're not huge trades, but I could still, if Bitcoin rips in a month on those two trades, I could make close to $1,000 to $2,000. You see what I'm saying? Definitely over like $1,200, and I would do it with like $600. So it would be a pretty nice come up, you know. So there you go, and then you can chip away, and before you know it, I could turn an account with $1,000 into 100 grand or more. And then the bull market comes, and that account's in with 100 grand. I could definitely make $1 million. And then 4 years from now, I could be like, dude, I turned $1 million. I turned $1,000 into $1 million. And like, so as long as you just start patient, and look at me. I just made $1,000 playing craps last night. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't stress money, and I don't have to be the big shot every time. You know, I've shown huge trades before. Other people are like, oh, this guy's small. And again, I've been dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin live in the stream, and I've put like, I'd say about 70 grand into Bitcoin now, just consistently buying over and over again. So, you know, and I've been public with it. Like, I'm buying right here. I'm buying right there. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Been very, very public about it. Because I believe I could die tomorrow, and I like saying, hey, this is what I'm into. This is what I'm doing. Hands down. Okay? And if you were in my trading group, the number one pick for me all week, and that I talked about, was Quant and XRP. And we went over it so many times. You can even see Quant in this beautiful pattern here. Let me get to Quant on the KuCoin chart. Quant on KuCoin. And like I just kept saying this thing was likely to make a move to the upside. It made a bullish retest and pump, and look, it's pumping now even more to the upside. Now Quant is up a beautiful 13%. You know, and this was like, to me, a gimme. I don't want to say anything's a gimme, but this was a gimme. It follows XRP, and if you want to like look at them together, which is fun to do in a juxtapositional idea. There's also ES1 looks like it's about to pop on that monthly back to the upside. A little bit of hidden bullish divergence. We're oversold. S&P might say, man, you can't keep doing what you're doing. And you got these companies, you know, that's actually a beautiful bull flag. Imagine the rally we would go on. Anyway, you heard it here first. Definitely heard it here first. Don't play yourself. But let's get down to what we're looking at, right? What time frame? The 1 hour. So we want to go to the 1 hour. You want to type in XRP, and you want to do a lot of juxtapositions as much as you can. You want to be going back and forth between different ideas and different two different coins at once. You know, this is where you will gain your edge over time, right? So XRP broke out, and now it's like flagging right here, and that's a really good sign. I look for that a lot. This idea is the flag outside of the breakout to the possible upside here. And XRP. Look at the 1 hour. Looks like it's about to break out. A lot. I know it seems weird. There's a lot of red action, but there's bullishness in the air. I'm smelling a lot of moves. It's interesting. You have a low 1 hour that's ready to go. Give you 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of momentum to the upside. This gives you XRP back to 67 cents. Getting into the 69, 70 cent region would be insane. The people's coin back in action. XRP, which I never thought, right? But it may be the link to kind of do something. We don't know exactly what they're planning with it, but something's going on. So before Quant pumped, XRP was pumping, and I said, watch Quant. Watch Quant. Trade of the day is Quant. We're going to stay focused on Quant. Quant, 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 Quant. And making like 14 to 20% is good. Did anyone put their own technical analysis on Quant? And did they feel the need that it was okay to trade? And if they did they make a gain? I would just like to know. Shout out to everybody here on the live. You can use any exchange from us. If you don't know the workarounds, don't trade. I will steal what? Yikes. I'm starting to suspect Gina Bombino works for a crypto life, or perhaps his wife. No, she's just a long-term mod. Like, she's just part of the. She's like the crypto. She oversees the little. You know, she brings the energy for a long time. Do you see the bike in my name? Do you see the blue in my name? Oh, you're funny. Do you see my blue Rancho? I've been looking at Quant since '87. Well, have you been in it or just looking at it? It's a good question. How about HBAR? Well, HBAR is likely to make a huge pump too, and that's the coin of the. HBAR is the trade of the night for me. It looks so good, and I don't like the coin specifically to hold long term, and maybe you do, and I'm not gonna get into a battle about it. But HBAR looked so nice. Oh, HBAR dumped though. It's the coin I never trust. Look at that. They put in a beautiful channel. That broke the channel in my mind. Adam and Eve double top. Look at that. You flip that upside down, you got the Adam and Eve double bottom. Back to the 200 simple. Far moving averages are far apart. Interesting. It's weird. 1 hour is, ready to move. 4 hour wants to move. Nasty candle though for HBAR. Following suit with Bitcoin, one thing I want to keep discussing is watching the weekly here for Bitcoin and the 200 simple there. And let's just make sure we're where we want to be here. That's training. Look, they're not showing up. There they are. That's why. And I'm like falling asleep right now as I'm here. I'm like, I didn't even know I was right now. I just forgot I was streaming. Straight up, I was like, am I streaming? What? What's going on? Well, Circle is a deal with trillions of USDCs. ALGO is so compliment. It's weird though that HBAR took a dump like that. Looks like they're stop hunting people that put too much liquidity in the zone, Which you can't be that close to the bone. You're gonna induce that behavior. So the people that do that create that, and then they don't know why they keep getting stopped out because it's their own self-fulfilled prophecy. They're making it happen, so they got to study liquidity a little more, and order books and understand where they sit inside of that area before they can just make a huge move. in my humble opinion. But again, I'm not a financial advisor, so you gotta do whatever makes you happy. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Shout out to everybody here in the live, making bacon on the beach with the crypto lifer. So this wedge is apparently also getting tight. Do we just make a move up, down, and can we blast on out eventually to the upside for ALGO? It's interesting now. ALGO is something you want to pull a Fibonacci on at this level, from this here to this there, and you want to rest it. We are bouncing off the 618, attempting in that golden pocket. It's quite interesting. So ALGO on the radar now. I had it in a pennant, but it fell out of that. This thing looks like it continue to move. Crypto lifer. And again, tomorrow morning is our weekly screen share, everyone. If you're in the trading group, tomorrow morning is the weekly screen share. Remember, it had been moved from 9:30 to 12:30. Tomorrow night is the weekly screen share. Just remember that. Tomorrow morning, sorry. That's how, like, I'm telling you, I'm gone. When I tell you I'm gone, I am gone. I don't even know how but like, I can rely on, TA is the one thing I could do at any moment in time, you know? I met so many cool people. It was a good time. It was a really good time. And as you know, it's 2 days, but I'll always remember that trip. I really will. I'll always remember that trip. Look at Chill, did a nice pump and came back down. Anakin, still on my radar. Hasn't popped yet. Keyword yet. Anakin, still on my radar. Don't sleep on Anakin. You wake up one day. Why did I do that? Anakin, no. All right, so injective protocol. I put out recently. It was hot. Almost went to the target. Let's take a look. I mean, it continues to make flags here, and I wouldn't be surprised if it continues to pump. That is a shoulder, head, and a shoulder, as you can see that. So we'd have to negate this idea right off the bat. But it is making a tight pennant that could break to the upside. Measured move would take you somewhere to about 2217, possibly for Bitcoin. For the injective protocol, like if Bitcoin plays games, like plays by the rules. Super chats explain Adam and Eve pattern. An Adam and Eve pattern looks just like this. It's usually a bottom pattern where you have a V bottom and a nice rounded. So it's Adam. There's Adam and that's Eve. And to get it, usually it might make like a move to the downside, but traditionally you're gonna want to take the middle to the top. I try to find like a wedge or a cup, and I try to make it a little more angled, and I tend to get actually a lot of my destinations tend to hit. So I mean, but they will hit anyway if it's bullish. So you could go here, there, you know. But that is an Adam and Eve double bottom. That's what it looks like, and you can just Google this too. Pretty simply put. Watch this. I know you like hearing it with my voice though, so I get it. You get a pass. Adam and Eve double bottom. And just type in images, and you should start to see like what I'm talking about. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's pretty spot on. And it could be in a even atom too. Let me go backwards. See that? It's a great question for everyone who here in the chat did not know what that is. You know. So. So who here learns from my channel daily? See, I just dropped a bomb. This is a great tweet for me to understand people. Who here learns from my channel daily? Who here learns from my channel daily? If you do, what has helped you the most? If you do, what has helped you the most? Who here learns from my channel daily? You do what has helped you the most. It's like, who here learns from my channel daily? If you do, what has helped you the most? Yeah, so who here learns from my channel daily? If you do, what has helped you the most? I love that. Retweet. Okay, shout out to the Daily Channel Discord learner here. Just starting watching not long ago. Lifer, your expertise helps. Thank you. Shout out to Randy, man, every time. I can tell when I needed the most. Black Goldberg. Friendly reminder to smooth that like button this way. To smoosh that like button this way. They may feel me this week. Shout out to the patients. Been here every day I can for the last 3 months using SRSI and 15-minute entries. I'm telling you, man, the things that I figured out are spot on, baby. Spot on. Spot on. So it was so cool being on all these different shows and meeting all these people. And awesome. Gingerbread Squad rebaked the World Series of Poker, NFT Con. And I was at NFT Con. It was awesome. See NFT. You know, I wonder how the event went. I'm gonna call Rob later and ask him. I actually probably gonna have him on the show and invite and interview him. Like, how did the event go? You know, so 34.44% gains possibly coming out of injective protocol, getting tight in a channel, getting very tight. And I still will scan the markets too, everyone. I seen some things that look somewhat encouraging today, right off the bat. Injective is one of them. Like is coming back down to where it may make some gains again. I just don't want to look at it right now for some reason. Can't explain it. Can't explain. That's a bullish divergence there, but it's not that sharp. But Nord Finance, weird. I saw something interesting on the weekly chart. Every time volume spiked, we reversed the trend, and that's massive volume we're at now. Check it out. But it's never been that. I mean, let's take a look. All-time history index is needed. I don't know. The volume spike isn't as big as it looked on that other chart, which is interesting. And we'd have to but we did get the spike. I see what you're saying, though. After reversal, it seems to be going up now. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm long Bitcoin. I just said that. Like, so. I appreciate that, though. That's great. No, just anyone makes it. I saw something interesting. Oh, yeah, HBAR. Thank you. I love you, Ace. Thank you. Where's the next trip going to be? Florida, baby. We're going to Florida. Sarasota. Let's give them some time to clean up. People looking at and some people lost everything. Moment of silence to everyone down in Florida. And look, I got this right here. I told you I was wearing my heart on my sleeve. And you know what this is. Who knows what this is? And everyone, I'm going to call it a night. I love you all. I really have to close my eyes and go to sleep. I can't do it anymore. I'm done. Someone asked me about GLDN. Isn't that golden retriever? I don't want to do that right now. That looks like is that a stock on the Toronto? Oh, no. We love lover. Get some rest. Good night, Sam. Get some rest. No, thank you, everyone. I need to pass out. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't. No, I can. But my body doesn't want to do it. It's asking me, Sam, let me breathe, Sam. Let me breathe. But I need to. The people aren't happy. We need to always find them gains. I know. I need to find myself gains. I know. There's got to be gains out there. There's got to be gains. 154 for comp now. If you have held on since the beginning when we put it out back at that 87, 68 area. Heinz 33. This one's Heisen 4. Now we got something. This is interesting. Is that multivag? So that's following Bitcoin pretty interestingly enough, right? Yeah, and then the lady next to me while we're at the table, she's going 33, 6 the hard way, 33. So I'm like 33. It was crazy. It was crazy. Your eyes gave it big. All right, so I looked at Fly. Fly did hit for some gains. It never hit the stop loss, as you can clearly see, and it would pump up. Actually, to that first little target there, 14% gains. Pretty nicely. So we can actually continue this idea as you chip away. Like so. Allowed to put under the tongue like so. This device is allowed to put under the tongue like so. It's like a panic device or what the heck? Remember that was in Wayne's World? He's like, under the tongue like so. So crazy, man. You pull a fib on this from bottom to the top. And that line is your 618 or your 0.5. Here's your 618 here, the same areas. So you can see it's guarded by the chunky areas of volume, you know, and that goes in hand with the VRVP. So a lot of the stuff will all make sense if you just keep rolling through it. All right, everyone, I'm out here for the night. She wants super chats on golden. It's like a little coin, right? And I'm like, we just don't have it. Golden retriever. They all want golden. Let's see. All right. Baby golden retriever. Ridiculous. All right, so it's up nicely. Bit of possibly a covered handle if you really looked at it. You see it? But I'm not going to push my lock. Could break out, but it's also emming here. That's what's got me in like a pickle. You get this M pad and I could dump. Bear should retest you down. There's a lot of liability there in that idea. I'd be careful, but it could pump. I don't want to talk about it anymore. All right. I made the people happy, but it didn't make myself happy. That is the question. Kono could make a move here. Low liquidity as candles are barely open and closed. Comb's still on my radar for massive gains. When Comb hits, it hits so hard, so you're like, it may take some time. And there's no guarantees. The key is to just continue to organize and always have this is the money for this thing. This is what I have for that. Like, I like to know where you know, what I'm going to allocate to what. And kind of instead of just like, I need this now and go from day to day, you know. Super chat's all clear. Good night, my G. I'm looking at Comb very, very closely. Everyone, I'm out for the night. May God bless each and every one of you. I can't. Like, I'm going to fall asleep right here in front of you. This is the most tired I've ever been. Shout out to the 292 people on the live, 300 likes on the live stream, $36 in chat revenue. And remember, you can do anything you put your mind to. I did it in Vegas. I had a blast. And God bless each and every one of you for getting me up every day, motivating me, and giving me a purpose to be alive. And to live the best life I could ever live. And that's with each and every one of you. So thank you. Have a great night. You changed my life in so many ways I could never fully give you back the gratitude. That's why I work every day. Be safe. Do your thing. And one thing I didn't do, which would be cool, is I'll see y'all tomorrow.